Okay, we're in day 2 of our 3-day videos and good morning, welcome, and I'm so happy to see you, so happy to talk with you again, so happy to meet with you here. Thank you again for coming, thank you for being here with us, thank you for really sharing our lives, sharing our site, sharing our website. I'm sure you've gone on and had a click around and seen some of the things there, look at the resources and look at some of the training that we've got and look at some of the events we run, and more importantly the information that is going to help you to grow, the information that's going to help you to unlock the profit in you. I go back to this word profit, but today I'm going to talk to you about how to stay ahead of your game. But I'm going to go back to this word profit because it's so fascinating to think that we could have a profitable existence, a profitable life. A life that is rewarding, a life that is filled with results, a life that is filled with results that we're happy about, a life that allows us to have sustainable success, a life that allows us to have achievements that we're proud of, things that we can pass on to others. Staying ahead of the game is so important. See, it's not getting to be successful that's important. I've taught my young people and I've taught adults and I've taught my coaching sessions. I've taught in my seminars about this. I learned this a few years ago. In fact, I learned it many years ago, but I got reminded and really impressed in my spirit that it's simply like this. A little success is possibly the worst success. You see, when we first become successful, maybe in an achievement of a sport or in entertainment, or we write a song, or we get to do our first performance, or we get our first contract, first job, things like that. What happens is that we tend to get overexcited about what's going on and begin to lose momentum. In fact, some of us, what we do, and I used to do this as well, is we got so successful, it worked so well that we stopped doing it. Almost as if we felt like we had a divine right to just continue succeeding, even though we didn't put a plan in to go beyond success. And that's what staying ahead of the game is about. It's about beyond success. It's about becoming more and more and more. And are you thinking, that's not greedy? No, there's a difference between that and greed. Greed, I want to have it now and I want to have it all and I want to have everything. But steady success over time, measured over time, means that you stay ahead of your game because you're constantly not just reinventing yourself, but you've planned for it. I wrote this book called Discipline Your Way to the Top, The Secrets of Sustainable Achievement and Fulfillment. And there is a reason I wrote this. It has 17 skills and 17 laws. And the 17 skills are pretty much skills that I think you need to learn about discipline. Now, discipline is not the right word to hear about. No one wants to talk about discipline. No one wants to believe it. I mean, if we do it, we do it. When we first hear it at school or hear it at home, we think of punishment. And so many of us turn away from that word. It's like if we hear the word insurance or something like that, we get all nervous and think, no, I'm not going to get involved. But with discipline, which really is just the skill of consistency measured over time and repeated in a way such as to bring you a better result every time. See, the Japanese has it like this. They called it in the old days kaizen, which means constant and never-ending improvement. Now, that's fascinating to me, because if I think of the philosophies that make my life work, that is one of the philosophies. It's the philosophy that says to me that whatever I do repeatedly that is beneficial for others and for myself, if I keep doing that, the likelihood is that I'm going to sustain my success. Staying ahead of the game is having the right game plan and knowing the right rules from the get-go. So one of the things that you must develop in your game plan is understanding what are the rules in the games I'm playing. So are you in business? Are you in sports? Are you in health? Are you in spirituality? Are you leading communities? Are you making a difference somewhere? Whatever it is, you need a plan. to know how I'm going to go about doing what I'm doing. That's a step-by-step process of what do I do today? What do I do tomorrow? What am I going to do the day after? What are the normal routines that I have to carry out? But in addition to that, what time is in there for planning? What time is in there for structuring? What am I going to, how flexible am I going to be? You know, flexibility is one of the 17 laws that Napoleon Hill talks about when he talks about developing an attractive personality. Flexibility is very important. See, too often we set our goals and set our sights on things that we want to achieve. And what happens is there's a bump in the night, or there is a problem in our life, or there is a crisis. And because those things exist, what we do, we give up on ourselves, or we give up on the dream, or we give up on the task. Especially in the early part of the year, when we set New Year's resolutions. And something happens, then we break the eating habit, or we break going to the gym, or we break doing the normal exercise, or we break our promises to others and to ourselves. I learned something a while ago about the definition of fair. Now, once I heard it was false evidence appearing real. I couldn't really fathom that. It just sounds like a bunch of words. Until I heard this one. Fair is your inability to promise yourself something and stick to it. And that's really what I'm talking about. So with disciplines, discipline is the word that supersedes fair, because discipline requires action. Now that's where the rubber meets the road. A lot of us like to talk about stuff, but we do not like to do the work that's necessary. It's the only four-letter word that we really don't like using very often. Well, that's the people that are in the 95% of people who at age 65 are going to retire dead or dead broke. So I put it to you today. Do you want to stay ahead of your game? Do you really want to stay ahead of your game? Well, let's find out what the game is. I showed you that in the first video, how to take what you have and turn it into what you want. Now that you know what you want, what we have to do is create the disciplines to get it. If we create the disciplines to get what we want, and we stick to those disciplines because our philosophy is made up, because we've made some important decisions, and when you make a decision, you know, we all know what that means. We cut away all the other options and we release ourselves into the flow of possibility of being able to have what we want when we want it, because we're doing the daily disciplines, we're doing the groundwork, we're doing the detail, we're doing the things that others won't. I heard a saying once, it said, do today what others don't so you can have tomorrow what others won't. That's what discipline is about. But it's a skill, it's an art. Why is it a skill? Because skill is what you get paid for in the marketplace. My coach, Danny Johnson, she told me, she said, you get paid for skill. Skill that produces value. Value for someone else. Value to someone else who will pay to the highest bidder based on your level of skill. So we looked at the evidence of a doctor, a surgeon, as opposed to someone who's just starting out as a junior doctor. The pay is different, the studying is different, the work is different because of the disciplines. It's the same thing for an athlete. Take Usain Bolt. As much as I think that I used to run track and do athletics and become successful at it, I am in nowhere comparison to Usain Bolt. And that is because he has sowed the disciplines necessary to produce the results. So, but here is the real thing about it. So he won at the Olympics. And then he had to do the World Championships. Now, the discipline that he lacked in concentration and focus allowed him to jumpstart in the final of the 100 meters. And because he had so much expectation, he was disappointed. Now, if he didn't have the discipline of character, which is one of the 17 disciplines, to learn how to fortify himself to bounce back from adversity, to interpret it as an event and not the rest of his life, as most of us do when we get hit by a circumstance or a crisis or whatever. We put down the track suits and we put down the running shoes, or we put down the books, or we put down the pens, and we decide, I'm not going out there, I'm not doing anymore, I'm not going to make it, it's not going to work. So we give up on ourselves and pretty much not end up achieving the result that we want. And then here comes the regret. So one of the disciplines I teach people is do the little things now, day by day, so that over time, what happens is you don't live with regret. You see, discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. Now, do you want to live a life of regret, or do you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment and happiness? Do you want to sustain the successes you're getting? Do you want to sustain the achievements you're having? Do you want to raise your levels of aspiration and attainment? Do you want to keep going on and just succeeding? It's like we've often heard. They got the Midas touch. Everything they touch turned to gold. I actually believe that, because they saw the disciplines. So you got to make decisions. When you make decisions, you've also got to decide what you're going to give up in order to get what you want. I'm not asking you to give up your family. You don't need to give up your family to stay ahead of the game. You don't need to give up all these things that you have been taught traditionally in order to get it, but you have to make some sacrifices. So you have to become good with your time. Are you a good timekeeper? How well do you manage your day? You know, how you manage your hour is how you manage your day, is how you manage your week, is how you manage your month, is how you manage a year, and 2 years, and 5 years. But anyone can turn that around at any time. The secret to it is start where you can and develop a consistency within that. In the ancient writings, there is a phrase, consistency, thou art a jewel. And I absolutely believe in that. And the reason I believe in that is because if you do it daily, you know, have you heard the statement? Whatever you do consistently is whatever you become. Whatever you say consistently is whatever you become. Whatever you think on repeatedly is whatever you become or have. Oh, I advise you, when we were talking earlier, to consider how you think, because you become what you think about. So discipline and focus has to do with what you think. It has a lot to do with what you think. So I want you to concentrate on getting the right disciplines, getting the things that are going to put you ahead of the game, doing the things that others won't to have the things that others don't. You have to sow these small disciplines time after time, day after day, in order to benefit long term. And what about talent? People get excited over talent. Oh, he's talented, she's talented, they're talented. Do you know talent without training leads to turmoil? Talent without training leads to turmoil. Show me a person that is untalented, but show me a person that's disciplined. They can develop the talent. And show me a person that's talented, and show me a person that's indisciplined, and I will show you a life that is in turmoil. So when we talk again on the next video, I'll go in a little bit deeper and now show you how to really seal this idea called profit within you. How to make your life profitable in every area. How to bring out the best in you. I'm going to tell you how to unlock the book that's inside of you. Do you know why? Because in a book, you know, again, the ancient writing says that we are a book seen and read of men. Now, what is your life saying? What is your life saying about you? What is your life saying about your journey? What is your life saying about your character? What is the way you live? Are you as a book a very good thing to read? Well, I'm going to show you how my Unlocking Your Book system, how to write a book in 7 days, how it's been helping people, challenging their ideas, delivering to them a success system, delivering to them different ways of changing their lives. And I want you to come back, because I'm going to share with you how that can become a whole new idea for you to change your life and become a published author, a published speaker, and you can go on to have the life of your dreams and the dream of your life. Thank you so much for coming back. As I said before, keep coming, keep clicking on to Len Allen, recommend a friend, tell a friend, just share the ideas that you learn in here. Question them. Send me a comment. I'm not right about everything. I've had successes in my life, but I'm not right on everything. But I want to show you the stuff that I've succeeded at, and I want to show you how you can have the same level of success and even more. How you can create the disciplines you want in your life, how you can discipline your way to the top, how you can learn the secrets of sustainable success and achievement and fulfillment, how you can unlock the profit within you. Until we meet again, have a good day. Bye-bye.